As can be seen, Lucky Strike's concern was shaped largely by his previous involvement in the mostly Latino/A Savage Skulls gang. "I'd like this heat for black people at that time," he said when recalling the segregation of street life in those years. "It was so stupid." Ahern, 2001a. However, when he saw that there was little antagonism being exhibited towards him at hip-hop parties, it drew him closer to the movement. In other words, the dance and the music offered him an alternative approach to race relations in the Bronx, one which diverted considerably from his gang past.
Pro-Am, 7th Avenue. Well, the Zulu Nation is one of the first hip-hop organization in existence on the planet. Started back in 1973 with a lot of the legendary groups and DJs, b-boys, and graph artists. Back in the early 70s, I was part of I would call it like a organization as well, but you know, some of the organizations back then didn't have too much knowledge. And what happened was there was a lot of races going on in the early 70s with the drugs and everything. So there was a lot of groups around that time that was divided. And one of the groups that I was involved with was the Savage Skulls. And you know, I was involved with them for a little bit, and then BAM was the Black Spade. That was way before the Zulu Nation was in existence. And as we go along, a couple of years later, you know, we got involved with the with BAM's organization, the Zulu Nation. It kind of really changed like my whole life around, because I would say my mind was in a different direction, because it was happening in the South Bronx, you know, with different groups. You had to be Latino to be down with one group, or you had to be black to be down with the other group. So it kind of, you know, through the BAM's teachings and everything, kind of opened up people's minds. That's why it's very important. A lot of people think that hip-hop only has 4 elements, but in originality it has 5, because without the 5th element, which is knowledge, there wouldn't be any other element. Without you knowing anything, you wouldn't be part of no other element. I visited a couple